Hello, my name is Zephyr, and I wanted to revisit a concept I've had for a potential Transformers show. In fact, since that span of time, I've come up with a slew of pretty interesting ideas that would explore underused or entirely new concepts in Transformers. So let us enter the metaphorical boardroom as I pitch 6 concepts for potential Transformer shows, starting with a concept I already made an entire video on. Transformer Safeguard essentially takes everything we know about Transformers and removes all of the alien aspects from them. Now I understand that right there is a very ballsy take, as the whole point of the Transformers is that they are aliens from another planet that crash land on Earth and use Earth vehicles to disguise themselves. But for Transformer Safeguard, I want to do a what-if scenario, where instead of the Transformers being aliens, they're all built here on Earth by humans, and they're implanted with AI that gives them their unique personalities. This would be an all-new take on the Transformers like never before, where both versions of the AI are sentient. However, one version claims humanity is evil and wishes to wipe them all out, leading to the formation of the Decepticons, uploading viruses and hacking into manufacturing plants all around the world, and nearly destroying humanity. As if you couldn't tell already, this is probably going to be the darkest Transformers show ever to be put on TV or any streaming service. And I even said that in my original video, saying that if such a show were to ever be made, the only networks that could really show it would be adult entertainment channels like Adult Swim, as the show would be too mature for kids. And since Hasbro would obviously have to make toys for such a show and have agreements that have to be met, the show would need to be dumbed down quite significantly. As for the Autobots, the remaining humans would discover a failsafe that's hard-coded into the very first version of the AI that they used in their first ever prototype model, Optimus Prime, which they would call the Safeguard Protocol. They would use this version of the AI to build a resistance army to fight back against the Decepticons. The main message of the show, apart from being your standard warning of the dangers of AI, would be about what true sentience is, as the Decepticons would claim humanity wants to suppress their sentience and autonomy while serving as humanity's oppressors, making the Decepticons hypocrites. The Autobots, on the other hand, are given the choice and have full autonomy and choose to fight against the Decepticons, as they believe all life deserves to be free. Of course, we gotta talk about characters. When I made this concept, I used art from Instagram artist Richard Chen, as he made these incredible and stylized drawings of the characters that look like something Genndy Tartakovsky would make. And then I got to thinking, and I realized that this art style and theme, this show is something that he would absolutely make. If Genndy Tartakovsky were to make a Transformers show, this is exactly what he would make. In this show, Soundwave would actually be the leader of the Decepticons, and he would be able to combine with his cassette bots to make a super mode combiner. He would also be so obsessed with creating the ultimate weapon to finish off humanity that it would lead to the creation of Megatron, with Megatron being so powerful that he takes over leadership of the Decepticons. Of course, I'd have human characters too, because the whole show is about humans building them in the first place, and I feel that this concept will actually allow the humans to assist the Autobots and actually feel more useful than other iterations of humans in previous shows and media. And that was just the first show, because my second pitch for a potential Transformers show, which actually has potential for some brand synergy, and we all know how much Hasbro loves their brand synergy, why don't we just repurpose the story for Transformers Reactivate into its own show? It's looking more and more unlikely that this game is ever going to come out, as it's stuck in development hell, which is a shame because not only are we starving for a good Transformers game, but it has a really interesting story that utilizes the Quintessons like we've never seen before, and makes them feel like a threat you can't win against. The best part is, they could repurpose all of the game's assets and use them for the show. This would allow them to keep the same designs, meaning Hasbro won't have to completely remake the Reactivate toys. Moving on to pitch number 3. There's rumors of such thing already happening, which is both worrying and exciting. I think a live-action Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. style spin-off show of either the Bayverse or the Nightverse Sector 7 would be really freaking cool. This is something I feel like even less fans would be down for, but I know there's a lot of fans that miss the Bayverse, and I feel like this would be a happy compromise. This show would have a Men in Black, buddy cop dynamic between a Sector 7 agent and his Autobot partner who turns out to be Prowl, and he turns into a tricked out, undercover police car. Prowl would crash land on Earth, and as Sector 7 is investigating the crash site, he would scan the agent's car, leading to the agent getting into Prowl, thinking he is his car, only to later discover that his car was the alien he was looking for. They would work together to stop Decepticons while trying to keep Prowl a secret from the other agents, which would lead to funny hijinks. Being a live-action TV show, of course it would have a very tight budget, meaning there would have to be a very small robot cast, probably even smaller than the Bumblebee movie, so expect Prowl to rarely transform on screen or even be in robot mode, and maybe 2 or 3 fights max per season. I see this being the least likely to be made simply because there'd be virtually no toy line for this show, seeing as there'd be so few robots. But again, there's reportedly already a live-action Transformers show being worked on, so who knows. Pitch number 4. We're having the bots wake up a little early because I want a Hearts of Steel show. The Transformers running around in the 1800s Wild West is such a cool idea, and it's why I love Hearts of Steel. It's shocking that Hearts of Steel doesn't get explored that often because it has such cool designs and it's the closest to a regular Transformers story. Just that instead of taking place in the 1980s, it takes place in the 1880s. Thankfully, we are getting new Hearts of Steel toys in the next toy line, and I am so hyped. Speaking of regular Transformers, that leads me to pitch 5. Just stick to the formula and give us a good old-fashioned Transformer show. Autobots versus Decepticons. They crash land on Earth and try to keep their existence secret from humans. What a coincidence that some of the best Transformer shows stick to the basics. GM1 established it, Unicron Trilogy used it and added on to it. Beast Wars expanded upon it and created lore that would go on to inspire every other continuity going forward. Animated did its own take on it, and Prime was basically G1 but edgy with Bayverse style designs that don't hurt your eyes. There's no need to complicate things, just stick to the basics. Especially since it's been over a decade since Transformers Prime was on TV. It would be smart to have at least one Transformers show that tells the basic story every 10 years or so, for every new generation of kids, so that could serve as their introduction to Transformers. Basically, just reboot the series every 10 years. And finally, pitch number 6. Something that every Transformers fan can collectively agree on. Such an awesome yet simple concept that doesn't get used nearly enough. You already know what it is. If I had the ability to give you only one Transformer show, then I'm going to throw you a bone, because I'm giving you Shattered Glass. A mirror universe where the Autobots are the bad guys and the Decepticons are the good guys? How could you not be interested in that? The whole concept of evil iterations of good guy characters will never not be interesting, which is why it's a crime that we never have gotten a Shattered Glass show. Name is perfect and badass by itself. Shattered Glass. It sounds edgy and lets you know that this ain't your average Transformers show. Factor in the fact that we were robbed because Season 4 of Transformers Animated was actually going to give us a Shattered Glass episode. But there you guys have it. Those are my pitches for Transformers shows I'd like to see, but I want to hear yours. Pipe down in the comments what ideas you guys have for a Transformers show. Hell, we could even turn it into a game where we see which idea actually ends up getting used for a show. I hope you guys enjoyed and subscribed, as it would be much appreciated. And I thank you all for watching.